Hello, this is Dr. Kamani, licensed clinical psychologist. Is your job like a lemon? Okay. So when I say lemon, I mean like the lemon law with the car, and you'll say this car is a lemon. Okay. So is your job like that? Okay. So again, I'm talking to Black women who are in toxic jobs, or maybe you've recently left a toxic job. Okay. So I'm here to talk to you about that. So, like when you have that car that's broke down and you don't want to get another car because it's going to cost more money. And so the engine light comes on, or some light comes on. Okay. And then you tell yourself, I'm just going to keep pushing. I'm just going to keep pushing. Maybe I can make it till, a few more months until I get a new car. Or maybe I can just make it until, right? So, do you have some ways of thinking or saying that in relation to your job as well? Okay. So is the engine light on for yourself telling you this job is broke down? Okay. This job is broke down. This job is not going to get me where I'm trying to go. Okay. So the engine light is on and you keep going to the job expecting something different. Okay. So you already know if the engine light is on, just like in a car, if your engine light is on, it's not going to just automatically go off and just fix itself. Okay. If anything, your car gets worse and worse and worse. And eventually your car is not going to be able to start. Okay. So just take that in terms of like a metaphor in terms of you and your toxic job. So the quick story, right? So when I was at that toxic job, I was going through this training, and you've heard me talk about this training. I've talked about it many times before about this man who was doing this so-called paradoxical intervention and calling a young Black man dumb and stupid. It was just ridiculous. Okay. So on the way to the training, I got a light. It was like this notice on my car, and it was like it looked like a cup of like coffee steaming, and it said something like "take a break" or "take a rest" or something like that. And I was like, "What in the world is this?" So I was asking people like, "Have you ever seen this on your car before?" Like what? Like, is God sending me a message? What is going on here? Is my grandmother sent me a message? My father sent me a message from up in, like, what's happening here, right? So I couldn't figure it out. But then the more I asked other people about it, what it is that brand of car, if you start like driving a lot, like over the line, it will basically send a message to you like you need to take a break, okay? Because you driving over the line a lot, okay? So that was a warning message to me that I'm driving to this training, dreading going to the training. It's affecting my driving. I wasn't even aware of it, okay? Now I didn't get in an accident or cause any issues driving, but saying to you also, are you driving with some type of engine light on? Like you have an internal engine light, and the internal engine light is telling you, girl, this job is not good. Girl, this job is broken. Girl, you need to get another car. Okay. You need to get another job. Okay. You need to get another job or another professional opportunity. Okay. So again, if your job is like a lemon, like you have a car, okay, and we've all heard the saying, if life deals you lemons, you make lemonade, okay? So you know how to make lemonade, okay? So you know that you need some water, so you need some healing, okay? So you need some healing in your life, okay? So we know water can be healing. So the water can help you heal. You also need fresh lemons, not the old lemons, the sour lemons or the lemons that have no flavor. Okay. You need some fresh lemons. Okay. Some lemons that are going to invigorate you. Okay. And help you in terms of being more alert in terms of what is it that you're trying to go, right? What direction are you trying to go in? What do you need to do to get there? Okay. And you need sugar. You need some joy in your life. Okay. So when you're thinking about being in a toxic job and having to fight these people and having to watch your back and having to document everything and having to defend yourself and having to deal with tone policing. I could just go on and on and on. Okay. You know what I'm talking about. Okay. The micromanaging. And let me just tell you this quick story, right? So I was on my way to this training that was way far away. Okay. And on my way to the training, I got a flat tire. Okay. So, when I get to the job, so I had to figure out how to still get to the training, drop my car off for service. And thank God the service was right next to the training. Okay. So I drop my car off. I get in there. I'm like flustered because I had a flat tire on my way to the training. Right. I get inside and they're sweating me about how am I going to document that 1 hour that I missed of the training? How am I going to document that? And they were going back and forth with the timekeeper and trying to go back and forth with me for 1 hour. Okay. Now keep in mind, with the work that I was doing, I was working up and above my time. Okay. So I'm doing extra work. I'm creating trainings on my own time, on weekends, breaks, all that kind of stuff. Okay. But you sweating me about how am I going to document 1 hour? Okay. So that was just a sour lemon. Okay. So from all those experiences, I use that. I use all that as fuel. Okay. So all the things, the ridiculous stuff that happened to me at that toxic job, I use all that as fuel, and I rechannel that into where am I trying to go? Because I know this is not it. I know this is not what I worked so hard for. I know this is not it. Okay. So I rechannel that, right? So I added some sugar in terms of not only looking at what are the things that I need to do to help support me to getting out. So that gave me joy, definitely, and also reevaluating my circle. So I've talked to you about this before in terms of really reevaluate your circle of people that you share information with, particularly in relation to at your toxic job. So I just want to caution you in terms of sharing information with your colleagues or other people at the job about venting, sharing what your next steps are, any of that stuff, because I know that came back and got me. Okay. So be mindful of who you share information with. I know that Colette Elizabeth, who is my dear friend on the YouTube channel, YouTube streets as well. Okay. So Colette, was talking before, and she was a former manager, and she mentioned that 99.9% of the times that she would find out about something that her employee was doing was from the so-called friend of this employee. Okay. So keep that in mind. Okay. So be mindful of your circle. Okay. And surround yourself with other people who uplift you. Okay. That's sugar too. Okay. People you can trust, people who are uplifting you, people who are not opportunistic and trying to step on you to get somewhere else, which is really a false sense of whatever, because whatever's happening to you, some kind of way it's going to come back to them too. Okay. So karma's real. Okay. So that in terms of thinking about making that lemonade. Also, I really hope that you are able to reconnect to those things that bring you joy and happiness in your life. And I talk about joy because what I've noticed, which is so sad, and I know it was true for me too, when I was in the midst of that toxic job, I was so disconnected from what even made me happy anymore. Okay. I was just like on automatic, doing what I needed to do, disconnected from what even made me happy anymore, and definitely stopping engaging in those behaviors. Okay. But when I started reclaiming my power back, I started reconnecting to and identifying, oh, I love this. So this makes me happy. And started doing more of that and surrounding myself around people who filled that or brought joy into my life, not people who were draining me. Okay. So energy vampires, those are people in your life who drain all the energy out of you, and they really don't add to your life. Okay. So be mindful of energy vampires. Okay. So again, if you have a lemon, if your job is like a lemon car that is breaking down, that you pouring all this money and energy into, it's not going to take you nowhere. Okay. You are going to be stalled. Okay. So this is not to your benefit. So if your job is like a lemon, then make lemonade. Okay. But you can't make lemonade out of those rotten lemons. Okay. Those lemons are rotten. Okay. So making lemonade might be transitioning and pivoting to something different. Okay. So I just wanted to talk about that for a moment. Okay. So remember, if your engine light, your internal engine light is saying to you, sis, This job is beating me down. This job is making me miserable. This job is making me dread going to work every day. This job is making me cry on my way to work or leaving work. Any of those, your job's a lemon. Okay. So, again, this is for Black women who are thinking about, or maybe you have already thought about you want to go, or you might be even at the stages that I'm out of here. Okay. Wherever you are on that continuum, these videos are for you. Okay. Because I want you to know that you are not alone. And I want to say that I'm with you from afar. Okay. So I want to say that I want my videos to help you and to reassure you and to support you as you are making that transition out of a toxic job. And even after you leave a toxic job, because again, I left the job about a year ago. I'm still healing. You may still be healing too. But I hope that these videos can be a resource for you in terms of supporting your healing, okay? And letting you know you have choices, you have options. You don't have to stay at that lemon job. You don't have to stay there, okay? So let's make lemonade, okay? So when I talk about my business, lifting as we climb, I'm lifting for you, I'm reaching for you, I'm trying to uplift you so that you can leave and heal from a toxic job. And I hope that you are able to do that for another Black woman as well, because there's a lot of us out here who are struggling in a toxic job. Please reach back. Please reach for your sis and help her out too. Okay. So I'm signing off. If you have not already subscribed to my channel, please do so. Lifting as we climb consulting wellness services. And also give this video a thumbs up because it tells YouTube to suggest this type of video to other Black women who might need to hear this message. Okay. So give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, and you can share this video with another Black woman as well. Okay. So again, remember, sis, make lemonade. Okay. So I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.